You two are truly people of culture. I really appreciate y'all showing me that video. That's incredible.
Go to Wally World.
You would not believe the amount of times we pull up into the Walmart parking lot with that song running through my head.
I feel like me and my wife would pull up to that Walmart while they were filming that video, and she would be like, "No, we're going to We're going to Kroger right now."
He was like, "No,
we're going to Target.
We're going to Target. We're going to Target."
We apparently, since now that we're Dentonites, we were made privy to the 3 different kinds of Krogers that are around here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's the murder Kroger.
The murder Kroger.
Yes.
The nice cheese Kroger.
Yes.
And the MILF Kroger.
Yes.
We have frequented all 3 Krogers.
Oh, yes.
When we lived here the first time, it was 2016, 2017, we always went to the murder Kroger. Always the murder Kroger.
Well, because it was right down the street from our house.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Honestly, we would normally probably be going to the murder Kroger if it wasn't called the murder Kroger. What did they call the murder Kroger before it was murder Kroger?
Mouse Kroger.
The shitty parking lot Kroger?
Yeah, shitty parking lot Kroger, road
Smallest parking lot for a Kroger in America?
God.
You park in the back and it's like the front.
Man, that Kroger, though, is like, it's like, I don't know, it's like the corners of the store. It's just like there's concrete where there's holes in the wall and you can see outside.
Yeah.
And there's like fucking, like, I heard there's lots of mice in there, but, there's mice
You
everywhere.
can sometimes find, like, really interesting stuff there, though. They have a good, clearance section.
Their clearance section's badass, and I'm sure, like, some of the employees over the years have hidden strange products in weird places.
All of their employees smell like weed. It's pretty great, actually.
Yeah, that's the murder Kroger.
You can pick up anything at the murder Kroger.
Yeah, seriously. You go like 10 o'clock on a Friday night to murder Kroger. There's like everybody's there. There's drunk people there. There's people trying to sell you drugs. There's fucking people like, get out of my way. I'm just trying to buy a pizza.
I think I tried to cash a check there once and they acted like they'd never seen a check before in their life.
Oh God, I remember that.
To be fair, even when we were kids, I feel like when somebody broke out a check at the grocery store line, there was
like a collective groan.
Yeah, oh, here we go.
Like,
Yeah. No, I felt like I was maybe 80 years old. I felt like I had been on Medicare for the past 20 years, walking up there with my fucking check.
But that's the way you have to do it sometimes. You write the paper check. They don't send it to your bank for like a couple days.
Yeah.
So when you're broke as fuck, you're like,
that's
okay,
the trick.
Paycheck's gonna be there Thursday morning, so it's Tuesday. If I write the check tonight, I can still get my murder Kroger haul. And then when it comes out on my fucking bank account on Thursday, it's cool. Whatever.
Don't try that shit at the good cheese Kroger, though.
No, the good cheese Kroger will fuck you up.
Yeah.
The good cheese Kroger.
The MILF Kroger will fuck you up too, but in a different way.
No, the good cheese Kroger, I used to frequent that one whenever I worked for the beauty supply call center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was always at that fucking Kroger causing like a ruckus. I would buy I'd go in there and I'd buy like a bottle of cough syrup. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I just chug a bottle of cough syrup, go back to work.
That was back when you were drinking, too.
Yeah. So I'd be like kind of hungover, but I didn't want to.
Bottle of cough syrup, bottle of Burnett's.
Yeah, cough syrup, Burnett's, and then maybe a couple Sudafeds. And
you said something I want to hone in on. Were you doing like tech support for Mary Kay?
Oh, kind of. It wasn't tech support. It was like.
Did you try resetting your makeup?
No, it was more like, oh my God, all of my shampoos exploded. All right, well, let me send you a couple more. It's like, I checked my tracking number on my, my case of shampoo, conditioner, and shaving soaps. Why is it in fucking Missouri whenever I'm in Washington? It's like, well, let me get it rerouted for you. Then I have to call FedEx and get it rerouted.
Oh, man.
So, cosmetologists are very demanding, especially the ones in very large cities, especially the one... And whenever we had to deliver to the Paul Mitchell School, holy shit, they acted like, you better listen to me. I can break you.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not talking to fucking Juilliard.
Yeah.
They thought, and it's just like, okay, but someone told this to me. They're like, some of these people take themselves way too seriously, but just remember this. It's just shampoo.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just fucking shampoo.
They just cut hair for a living.
Yeah, but and that might be their tool, and they're passionate about their job. But you know what? That's no reason to get your fucking butthole tied in a knot just because they're fucking been out of shape. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
You know what? I'm passionate about my job, which is making sure you don't get the shit you want.
I'll have you know, I sat next to the person that gave a haircut to one of the people from BTS yesterday.
So you listen to me. Let me tell you about your order, Paul Mitchell. God.
I really wanted it to be something where the bottle said rinse, slather, repeat. When am I supposed to stop? I've been here for 3 days. Please.
No, the most annoying call I got was someone that was insisting that I just send them free coupons. I was like, I don't have any free coupons. So she was like, yeah, they was like, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, hi, can I get your identifier? You know, she just acted like I should immediately know who she is. I had no idea. Nobody else knew who she was except for like 2 people that had been there some years, because apparently she did this at least twice a year, was call, complain, hold people on the phone until she got her free coupons. But since I was new, I didn't know anything about coupons. I didn't know how to send coupons or whatever. It was just like a mailer. So I was asking, hey, do you guys send out coupons? They're like, yeah, like a couple times a year we'll send something out, you know, to people on this list. I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, you should be getting your coupons probably the next time they send them out. But what about the ones that you're supposed to send out last week? I'm like, I don't know, ma'am. I'm not in control. It's like, did you want to place an order? Or was it an order I could do anything for you? She's like, I just want the coupons. I'm like, I really can't. Well, that's not fair. And I was like, I before I could stop myself, said, life's not fair. I was like, you're just going to have to wait. I'm sorry. I don't have a way that. So she ended up having to escalate to like my boss and then my boss's boss until the boss's boss finally knew who to contact to get her fucking stupid coupons.
It kind of reminds me of the toenail guy that we were talking about. On like one of the past episodes, you know, the guy who used to call up to the Pizza Hut call center that I worked at. I'll have to tell you this story.
Pizza Hut
later.
call center?
Yeah, you didn't know that Pizza Hut has call centers? Well, they did. Now they've moved everything online, but yeah. Pizza Hut, you were talking to the person at the store like maybe 75% of the time.
Did they put like fake store sounds in the background?
No.
Okay, because I feel like when you call Domino's,
everybody that worked there was definitely a stoner, just like the workers in the stores.
Oh, absolutely.
So, not just stoners either. We had some people on some pretty hard shit at that place. But you know, when you're taking pizza orders for like cranky parents with like screaming kids, and you're only making minimum wage, and this was pre-Obama, so minimum wage was like even lower. Then you got to do some things to get yourself through the day, you know.
Man,
oh my god,
it was fucking terrible working in pizza back in those days. Like, what I really hated was whenever people, because I worked at Pizza Shuttle, you know, or Pizza Butthole, you know, is what we call it. But it was in a fucking college town, Norman, Oklahoma, and it was the only pizza place that stayed up to like 3 a.m, like on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
So we would always get all the crazies, all the drunks, and then anytime there was like an OU football game, everyone would have to order like 20 pizzas each from us, and it was insane. Anytime people would call and order the Mazio's ring and wings, it's like, dude, we don't have a fucking calzone ring. It's like, we don't even make calzone. We're pieces of shit.
The same fucking shit happened to us at the Pizza Hut call center, too. Everybody called up wanting a fucking calzone ring, which, by the way, as an Italian American, is offensive to my people. That's not a real thing, you guys.
No calzone ring.
How do you feel
we had
about
to be
Marco's
like, well, we don't
Pizzoli?
have those. They'd be like, well, why the fuck not? Like, because
we're not
this is
Mazio's.
Pizza Hut, you dumb broad. Call Mazio's if that's what you want.
I don't know. Would you call Burger King for a Big Mac? You
Right?
stupid bitch.
You know, I know like the people at fucking Burger King, because I went up there to get those Impossible Whoppers earlier. They were sitting there talking about some of the people that they get, you know, like coming up there, and one of the guys, you know, that was working, he was like, it's like, you are at the King. What the fuck makes you think we have anything Mick around here? We don't have any McNuggets. We don't have it. It's like, you better take your Mick ass on to McDonald's and get the fuck out of my McLine. And I was like, I was laughing. And I could tell the manager could tell that I was hearing because I was kind of giggling to myself. And she's trying to get him to calm down. I was like, no, it's all right. I feel him.
That's so funny. Oh my god, I love that. I want to be that guy that in the Burger King line whenever they ask for a Big Mac, and instead of explaining, just go no. Can I get a Big Mac? No. Why not? I'm gonna let you think about it for like 5 seconds.
It just reminds me whenever, like, I used to hang out with, like, one of my friends. She was a cocktail waitress at the strip club. And so we already knew a bunch of just, like, characters. Well, one of the people that used to, I think he was, no, that was just her couch goblin for a little bit.
Couch goblin.
Yeah, her couch goblin had, like, pain tattooed across his neck. And he was about maybe, like, he's about, like, Sabrina's height, you know. But he worked at the McDonald's and then, like, you know, to help make, because, you know, McDonald's didn't pay shit in fucking 2001.
Hell no.
So to, like, make ends meet, you know, he was selling some weed on the side, and then so sometimes he'd have to drive to McDonald's to pick up a mixed sack. And
mixed sack.
yeah, we had just like, dude, he would get so pissed if we called it a mixed sack.
Dude, remember when we used to go pick our shit up from that dude that worked at the Burger King?
Yeah.
I bet if we had asked him for the mixed sack, he would have thought we were
He'd be like,
crazy.
that's the sack king, okay?
No,
That's the green king.
No,
Give me the green king.
Funny you say that. Many years ago, I moved to Lubbock with some friends of mine, and I was told by one of my friends online that if you move to a new city and you need a hookup, you just go to whatever fast food place is closest to you and go to the people in the drive-thru who are there like late at night, past midnight, and just ask them for a connect.
The fucking Taco Bell. The Taco Bell on... Every time we go there past like 10 p.m., those people are high as fuck, dude.
And they mess up our
And
order
they
every
always
time.
mess up our order because they're high as fuck.
And then anytime that we think about going there, we're like, okay, well, give me about maybe 15 extra minutes so that I can go back in whenever they fuck it up the first time. And I always end up leaving with like 12 burritos whenever I really just went in there for like 6. 3 for me, 3 for her.
Exactly.
Fortune has smiled upon us this day.
12 burritos and a dime bag.
I told my buddy that I was living with at the time, who was much more ballsy than I, about that workaround. He's like, "You want to go to Burger King?" I was like, "Yeah, but I just want Burger King. You don't need to try that." And he's driving. We order. He swings back around. He goes, "You need anything else?" He goes, "Yeah, you got a hookup on a sack?" He goes, "I mean, yeah, if you want to meet me outside in like 20 minutes." I'm like, "Whoa, it worked."
Like, all right.
You have a connect now.
It's absolutely true. But no, if you're looking for places, we'll tell you where. I mean, besides the Taco Bell,
Yes.
We'll let you know where to look.
Yes. Let's delete this specific part of this.
Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
Hi, my name is Winona, and I've got a big brown beaver.
My name is Mud. Not to be confused with Billy Jack or Peter Dennis. My name is Mud. It's always been.
My name is Aloysius Davidander Abercrombie, and that's long for Matt. So I've been told. And this is Sumo Punx.
And joining us today is actually Nemo
Yeah.
from the internet. And Nemo, the proprietor of Nemo's Fantasy Sumo League on
It's true.
Discord, also a member of Dallas Sumo Club.
Indeed.
Yes. Joining us for I think this is the second time, right? This is the
Yes.
second time you've been on the show.
Numero dos.
Yes. To help us cover week 2 of the Hatsu basho. But before we get into all the action, let's go ahead and do a quick review of the upcoming events.
February 10th, the Mighty Eagle Teams Tournament. The tournament will be taking place at the Rolling Oaks Mall in San Antonio, Texas. You can sign up at mightyeaglesumo.com. Also on February 10th is the Paris Sumo Open in Paris, France. You can contact Paris Sumo on Facebook or Instagram for more info, or you can email info@paris-sumo.fr.
And we will definitely be at the Mighty Eagle Teams Tournament.
Probably not in Paris.
No, probably not.
February 24th, the SoCal Sumo Open in San Diego at the City Heights Performance Annex at 3795 Fairmont Avenue, San Diego, California. $30 registration fee. Kids and teens compete for free. You can find the sign-up sheet if you look up Honu Sumo on the internet. Or find us, we could point you in the right direction.
Be careful, kids. The internet is a dangerous place.
Very. That's how we found Nemo. All right, April 6th, the inaugural Sakura Cup Sumo Tournament at Music City Muscle Gym in Nashville, Tennessee. And that is where I am going to face Jake Collison. And, there's going to be lots of fat flying around. It's going to be awesome. April 12th through 13th, the Roller Town Showdown in Salina, Texas. This is at Roller Town Beer Works. Last tournament was amazing. Seriously, if you went to the last Roller Town, it was just out of this world. Probably one of the funnest sumo events I have ever been to.
We had Gagamaru.
There was Gagamaru dancing around to Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
So if you want to experience a chance to, make this Roller Town even bigger and wilder and just more out there, you need to come to Salina, Texas.
Hell yeah.
And then May 11th, the U.S. Sumo Open at Walter Pyramid at Cal State in Long Beach, California. You can find more info at usasumo.com. And as always, if you wanted to find more events or keep track of these events, not only in the U.S., but all over the globe, you can go to sumo411.com, which is manned by Kellyanne Ball.
Woo! All right, that's the upcoming events. Now let's jump right into our basho coverage. And holy shit, this has been a wild fucking ride.
Yeah, it has.
We started the new year out right, honestly, because, the Kyushu basho kind of ended up, everything was, it felt like, you're in a broke-ass starship and you're crash landing on another planet, and it's like a wilderness planet, and there's lots of predators, but you crash down, and the spaceship's more or less in one piece, and you're like, okay, we made it. So that's the Kyushu basho. Now this is the new year. The spaceship's been fixed up a little bit. It's time to go back into outer space.
Yeah. With the Yokozuna. He's back for this basho, and he's actually been doing really well despite all of his many injuries.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
I was literally about to say that.
Oh my God, were you really?
Great minds.
I was about to say Sabrina and I read each other's minds like that all the time. It's because you're in the vibe.
Yes.
Yeah. Last basho, everybody was talking about Takakeisho possibly making it to Yokozuna, but of course that didn't happen because of Kirishima. So this basho, everybody was talking about Kirishima possibly making Yokozuna, even though this is only, his fourth tournament as Ozeki?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, which... What's the shortest time period someone has gone as Ozeki before making it to Yokozuna?
That's something that we need to ask Grand Sumo Breakdown, because I'm sure that fucking Ryan or Flair could just pop that out of their buttholes in a split second.
I'm sure Ryan would remember that before he remembers his own mother's birth. No, maybe not that, but...
Yeah. Hey, he is an encyclopedia. He is.
He certainly is, for sure. But, we should have known, since Kirishima hasn't been Ozeki for very long, there was probably a slim chance that he would make it to Yokozuna this time around. But like I said before, it's been such a wild ride trying to see him.
We had hopes in our hearts. My heart was taking flight on wings of faith. And then, never mind. You'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. You sound like a youth pastor.
You're a youth pastor.
But anyway, leaving off on day 8, he was doing fairly good. It could have gone one way or the other. Going into day 9, there were a few interesting things that popped up on day 9. Hokuto Fuji is actually Kyujo as of day 9 due to a right knee contusion on an already injured knee.
Oh, that face he was making as he was falling backwards was just heart-wrenching. It was like, no, not Hokuto Fuji.
It's bad when you can see on his face that the pain is taking him away from the fact that he's still got another 2 feet to fall below him.
Right?
Oh, God. That seriously. I was just like, oh, no.
Asanoyama went Kyujo on day 9 due to an injury sustained to his right ankle. Again, something we saw on day 8 that we were...
Set wheels in motion for day 9.
Yeah, we kind of figured... Well, we did find out that happened.
So, per our Discord server, we had asked some people who they would like us to keep an eye on for week 2 of the basho, and that's something that we're probably going to start doing. We'll be a little bit more loosey-goosey with our week 1 coverage, and then ask all of y'all who you want us to keep an eye on for week 2. So, this time, the Discord server wanted us to keep an eye on my nephew, Ono Sato, Abi, Atami Fuji, and Kirishima.
And by the way, if you've never been on our Discord server, definitely go check that shit out.
It's a lot of
because
fun.
it's fun as fuck.
And if you don't know how to find it, ask a punk.
Yes, ask a punk. There's a lot of butts on there.
There's lots of butts
Especially
on
right
it. We
now,
have a
they're-
whole new butt channel.
We're preparing for our Valentine's Day episode, so yes, lots of butts.
Lots of butts.
Why don't you go ahead and give us some of the more interesting bouts from day 9?
So from day 9, let's start off with my nephew Ono Sato versus the wily Meisei. Meisei, of course, had an amazingly strong tachi, but it didn't faze my giant nephew Ono Sato. Meisei went for a kotenage arm lock, but Ono Sato used his captured arm to side drive Meisei out. That sideways drive blew my mind. The mighty Joe Pancero broke down some of the technical aspects and emphasized that it takes good shoulder and core strength while keeping the hips close to the opponent and as low as you can go. And, being as low as you could go is generally, the center of all sumo.
Yes, if you're good at limbo.
Yeah. Next, we had Gonoyama versus Abi. Now, Abi has had a rough first week.
Yeah.
The passing of his master Terao, Shikoriyama Oyakata, is still fresh on his mind. He came into day 9 at 2-6, having scored his only 2 victories recently. Big G wasn't doing any better and came into day 9 with the same score as Abi. Both men were poised to strike at the tachi, and Big G charged forward, only to charge into nothing! Abi had Hinka grab the back of Big G's belt and heave the large dude out of the ring like a pissed-off baggage handler, much to the delight of the crowd. Not quite a Hasho Tobi, but an impressive display of Abizumo.
It was crazy. It really looked like he was tossed out of a bar.
He did
Yeah.
just like, yoink. Just unruly drunks. Just,
It looked like he was throwing a Muppet.
oh my god, it did. I thought he just looked like either he was throwing just like a fucking reckless drunk or like just someone's
Or
luggage.
when you're flying and you're still on the runway waiting for them to load up the luggage or not the runway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And you see the little luggage handler guys out there and they're just fucking chucking suitcases as hard as they can.
That's seriously what it looks like.
Like they're trying to win the suitcase Super Bowl or some shit.
there I am in the window going, oh no, my snow globe collection.
But yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like.
All right, next we have Wakamoto Haru versus Midori Fuji. So Wakamoto Haru comes into day 9 at 5-3, while the pit bull Midori Fuji isn't doing so hot at 2-6. So Wakamoto Hard Dude delivers a brutal kachiage, the forearm shiver to
Yeah.
Midori Fuji at the tachi. Midori Fuji goes for a kubinage headlock throw, but the Hard Dude does not budge. Wakamoto Haru just grabs Midori Fuji by his face and crushes down the smaller rikishi with the Yori Taoshi victory. And in front of his dad, no less, who was in the stands today.
I bet he was very proud.
Yeah, Wakamoto Haru's dad's like, yeah, it's my boy.
I love that we're literally just calling him Hard Dude now.
Well, he's Hard Dude. Wakamoto Hard Dude. I mean, we got Wakataka Flock of Seagulls. We got Wakamoto Hard Dude. And then Wakataka Moto.
Flock of Seagulls. I always called him Wakataka Bukake.
But Waka Flock of Seagulls just sounds, it's just made you feel like you
I
just
mean, if
ran
you're
so far
over the
away.
age of 40, you get that joke.
I am over the age of 40. I do get that joke.
Literally the only reason I understand that joke is because of The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, that's my
Or
mom's
if you've
favorite movie.
or if you've seen The Wedding Singer. All right, so now we have my son, Atami Fuji,
Your son.
versus Ura. So my son enters day 9 at 4-4. He had a rough start at Maegashira 1 as he was put through the meat grinder during the first week, as they usually do to, Komasubi, Maegashira 1. They always throw those guys to the wolves that first week. So Ura is not doing very well and scored his only victory by Fusen. He enters day 9 at 1-7. So this is their first meeting. And I know my son has difficulty with unorthodox styles he hasn't faced before. And we all know Ura has one of the wonkiest and most unorthodox styles in the Makuuchi division.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about that later.
Oh, and I was right. Ura came in low with the standard tachi, stayed under a Tamifuji, and delivered a kataskashi swing down on my baby boy, earning his first victory that wasn't a Fusen and his second win of the basho. Side note, Koto no Waka got his kachikoshi by trouncing Daisho with some well-timed Yotsuzumo. That was actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, given the way the rest of the basho went for Koto no Waka, it is not surprising.
All right, then we have Kirishima versus Shodai. So Kirishima bullied Shodai off the ring. A monoe was called. Kirishima looked scared as the Shimpan was announcing the verdict, but they did find that Shodai touch first, which gave Kirishima his 7th win.
Yay!
Shodai.
And then Terano Fuji got his revenge on my doppelganger Nishikigi by doing his usual brand of sumo. No surprises there.
Yeah, no surprises. So, Nemo, any thoughts on the action of day 9?
I honestly, aside from Abi tossing that dude like he's luggage, you know what? Y'all are so good at taking notes. I did manage to take a few notes of my own.
Hell yeah.
Here's my first.
I love a man who comes prepared.
Yeah.
Here's my first note. The NHK portrait for Shona no Umi makes him look like a mob enforcer.
He does. Oh my god.
And that's all I have
know?
for day 9.
That's because he's Shonan the Barbarian.
It does, kind of.
He does.
Yeah.
Like how Justin Kizzard just calls him
You know, some of these shikona do kind of sound a little Italian if you pronounce them in a certain way, you know. Shonanumi.
Shonan.
Agoniyama.
He's like, I'm Shonan no Umi. You dare not talking about my mama's a sashimi.
Going to the ring, gabagool.
On this, the day of my Skibido's wedding.
That's just too good.
All right, let's go ahead and take it to day 10 then. Day 10, Koto Shoho got to beat Tsurugisho with his dad in the crowd on day 10.
Have you seen his dad? Koto Shoho and Koto Tebakari's dad is like bald and he's got this huge beard.
Yeah.
He looks like Master Roshi whenever he's all like super like buff. You know, because Master Roshi's usually all small, but when he gets all powered up, he's all muscly.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what their dad looks
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Turtle Hermit Grandpa.
Yeah.
So cool.
First notable bout that I had for day 10 was Tobizaru versus Takanosho. Takanosho keeps trying to slap down the pesky monkey as Tobizaru flails about wildly, attempting pulls and thrusts. Such a chaotic style of fighting often leads to sloppy defense, so after violently dancing around the dohyo for a bit, Takanosho absorbs a push by Tobizaru by stepping off to the side, allowing Tobizaru to lose his balance and go flying off the dohyo straight into Naruto Oyakata.
Coach Naruto is just kind of like, what the fuck are you? Just get off me, man. You look really annoyed.
Looked like, at one point, he almost even looked like he was Naruto running into Naruto Oyakata.
Oh my god, he did. I didn't even notice that.
Next one I have is Tamawashi versus Atami Fuji. Both rikishi have a powerful tachi that cancels out the other in this bout, leaving them immediately locked up mid-dohyo. But they are by no means resting. Each struggles to gain dominance, Tamawashi attempting to push Atami Fuji, and Atami Fuji attempting to break through Tamawashi's defenses for a belt grip. Tamawashi is eventually able to get Atami Fuji moving backwards to the Tawara to shove him over the edge, but Atami Fuji recovers. Tamawashi goes for another shove, which sends Atami Fuji stumbling back, but he recovers again right at the edge and charges Tamawashi. Atami Fuji then tries for a pull down right as Tamawashi attempts another shove, which sends them both spinning down to the clay. But it looked like Atami Fuji's leg hit first, so Tamawashi gets the win by Oshi Taoshi. This bout was an excellent display of skill by both these
Seriously, that was badass. And, you can't blame, a Tommy Fuji for, Tamawashi's fucking mean. He is one of the meaner fucking... And when he's on top of his game... I mean, he's a Yusho winner,
Yeah.
And he's got all of those years of battle experience, so a Tommy Fuji just has a little bit of catching up to do.
We then have Kota no Waka versus Ono Sato. Only 3 men on the leaderboard after Asanoyama drops out the previous day, and 2 of them go up against each other in this bout. The result was kind of expected. Whether it was nerves or inexperience, Ono Sato's Tachiai seemed a bit weaker. This gave Kota no Waka the ability to get in, stand him up, get a grip, and drive the feebly resisting Ono Sato out. This leaves only Kota no Waka and Onosho, of all fucking people, at the top for a total period of 2 bouts until Kirishima puts the smackdown on Onosho, making Kota no Waka the sole leader. We also had Daisho versus Hoshoryu. High Tachiai as Daisho throws a bunch of hands in Hoshoryu's face. Haas gets an angle on Daisho, grabs his arm, swings him around, and as he's being swung, Daisho leaps into the air for no apparent reason.
I was wondering
making
what the fuck
it
was up with
even
that.
easier for Haas to get behind him and push him out.
He hopped like twice.
He did. Okay, he did that little leap, and then he did another one as he was like
Getting pushed
over
out.
the Tawara. Yeah, it's like you're not Tobizaru. You're not the leaping monkey. What is up with this?
Sometimes whenever you're in mid-battle, you don't really... Your body sometimes just reacts, and you don't really... That's why you have to work on muscle memory, though, to get your body to do, what it's supposed to do, what it's trained to do.
That kind of shit, pardon the pun, flies in the face of, like, standard sumo.
I know, but it's just
you're
like...
supposed to stay on the ground, stay low, not go flying through the air. That just makes it easier for
That's what
you
I was about to say, is like you spent all of this time training your body to crouch at the edge.
Yes.
What the fuck was he doing, bunny?
I don't know. Daisho, what a weirdo. Besides that, the last little note I have for day 10 is, why is Kinbozan going up against Teruno Fuji? That was pretty ridiculous.
That was really fucking
Kinbozan
ridiculous.
was at 5-4 on day 10. My only guess is maybe they needed to put them together so that Teru could stay close to the top.
Look at who all was Kyujo, though. They were definitely bound to put together some really weird matchups.
That too. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, they did have a lot of Kyujo people, so maybe that's why they were doing such crazy matchups. But it just gets crazier going into 2011.
Yeah, there was no business putting Kinbozan up against Teruno Fuji just to get smacked down,
Like, some of them made sense, Some of them that were kind of seemed a little weird at first. Once you think about it, it's like, okay. But Kinbozan?
Yeah, whoever set up the
Really?
Torikumi that day was just being mean to Kinbozan.
You could have just left that original question to just, why is Kinbozan?
Why is
Why
Kinbozan?
is Kinbozan? Glenn Bozan.
And speaking of day 11...
Well, we're going to start off day 11 with Kinbozan launching Myogiru from the dohyo. That was pretty spectacular.
I think he was just so humiliated by his previous day's bout with
He just had to
Teruno
take
Fuji.
it out on Myogiru. And we had Gonoyama avoiding Makekoshi by launching Ruden's punk ass of the dohyo and into a couple of elderly folks and poor Shodai.
That poor Shodai.
I know, Shodai was like, the old people were just kind of laughing, like, oh my god, it's a rikishi. And Shodai's like, quit.
Just rolling around like a ball on the floor.
Oh, he's picking on me.
He's like, get him off me. I understand you don't want Sumo Snape fucking just wallowing around on your fucking lap. So
No, you're gonna
yeah,
catch something.
get that.
Read it so easy. I love it.
He's such a villain. All right, so day 11 we have Midori Fuji versus Tobizaru. The tachiai between these two pixies was fast and ferocious. High-speed Tsupari attacks from both men, but the flying monkey seized a pivotal moment and goes for a slapdown. But Midori Fuji doesn't immediately step out and manages to catch his balance and pivots back to face Tobizaru, but it was too late. Tobizaru launched Midori Fuji into the salt bucket and spilled it everywhere.
It was in his tomage.
It was
When he got back up on the doyo, he
needed
had
some
like
head and shoulders. Right. Oshi to Oshi victory for the Monkey Man. And then we have Shodai versus Atami Fuji.
if he could recover from getting a Gonoyama
God, I know.
thrown into him.
While we
or
were-
not Gonoyama, I'm sorry, Ryuden.
Ryuden. We were watching the it was the NHK, because normally a lot of people will watch Nato, and so we've been watching NHK because we really like the English commentary,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's fucking great. But we learned a vocabulary phrase, I guess is a phrase word, but Hatsukawase, which is first meeting. And I
Yeah.
know I'm butchering that pronunciation, but I sat there with my phone trying the pronunciation over and over and over again until my phone finally recognized what I was saying. So, Katsukawase.
Hatsukawase.
Yeah, first meeting between these two rikishi, Shodai and Atami Fuji. Can the Lord of Chaos throw Atami Fuji off his rhythm? Or will Atami Fuji prevail? Shodai had a reactive Tachi-ai, catching Atami Fuji's charge. He started to drive the young man, but he pivoted back in and locks up with the Lord of Chaos. Shodai tries for a slap down, but it only rocks Atami Fuji's balance for a second. Shodai gets underhooks and drives. Atami Fuji manages to shake off the chaotic hold of Shodai and thrusts his ass to the clay, where he immediately begins to brood. Tsukio Toshi win for my son, Atami Fuji.
And that was such a solid win for an otherwise very difficult basho for Atami Fuji. It was nice to see.
Yeah.
He had a really fucking hard time with this one, but he was at Maegashira 1. They intentionally made it hard. That's just turning up the difficulty to fucking, not hard, but very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, Jun Yusho, huh? Well, let's see if you do it again here at N1.
It seems like, besides the fact that, if you go up against the Yokozuna, you're going to have a hard time, it seems like having a Yokozuna in the tournament makes every other bout harder, too. For some reason.
It does. I think he just weighs so heavily on everyone's mind. His presence is just enough to, give you a fucking -4 to your fucking defense.
It's like when you have a cop driving behind you on the highway.
Oh, my God. For miles and miles.
Yeah.
Like, just please, don't even pull me over. Just shoot me here. I can't do it anymore. I missed my exit because I was scared if I did anything, you were going to pull me over.
Why are you riding in my blind spot?
Oh, God, I hate that. All right. And why did they pair up Kotonowaka and Oho? That was a weird bout. With all of the absences, I mean, I guess they did have to try and drum up some excitement by putting the grandsons of, two Yokozuna together. It ended up exactly as you would expect, with Oho getting tossed out of the ring like an unruly drunk.
Although Oho has been doing surprisingly well this basho.
Oh, yeah. He did really well. He's been getting like some makikoshis here recently.
Did he get a double-digit score?
He did.
Winning score this basho?
Oh, no. The last day it was double digits. but-
So he did for the whole tournament. He got, I think, a 10 and 5, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I think maybe Oho's on the upswing. I hope Oho's on the upswing.
I
because
really-
I do like Oho.
Yeah, when his sumo is on, it's on. And I don't know why, but I really like watching him beat Hoshoryu. Because he just has that mental thing with Hoshoryu. He just knows how to just get under his skin and just fucking kick his ass.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
So
He
it's
knows-
more like oh ho instead of oh ho.
That reminds me of the Aho.
Oh, in
versus-
Kiowa?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the Kiowa language, the way that you say thank you is aho, like that. It's the way the vowel sound, aho. And a lot of people just say aho. You'll hear people like of other tribes too. They'll because they want to sound cool, like the Kiowa say aho. So they say yeah, aho. But what aho means in Kiowa? Kill him. So yeah, it's very small vowel inflection between kill him and thank you. So you gotta be careful. Remember, if it's that little accent mark has a little up and down thing on the O in Kiowa, so it's oh like that.
So what you're saying is Oho just needs an accent mark, and then he'll start killing it in the dohyo.
Oh, ho, dohyo.
Hey-o.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna start combining Japanese and Kiowa like at every chance I get.
That won't get you in trouble anywhere.
All right. And then Kirishima beat Daisho at his own game by slapping the poor guy silly and sending him on his merry way out of the ring.
Yeah.
You know, I've been very impressed with Kirishima's fucking Oshizumo game here lately. Like, since he's become Ozeki, he's really stepped it up. Shit.
This was the exact match where I was like, oh, he's going. He's Yokozuna. He's Yokozuna ready. Seeing him like parry Daisho so perfectly. Cha! Get the fuck out of here.
It really did. That looked like some fucking like martial arts, like fucking like
he's the Bruce Lee of sumo.
I know, like I was going to say that's some Ip Man shit.
Or that, yeah.
100%. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this in slow mo. This is gonna be so cool, and it was.
Fuck yes. All right, up next we had Onosato versus Hoshoryu. So my nephew faces an Ozeki for the first time. You could tell he was a bit nervous. Hoshoryu kept his head in the game and delivered a beautiful Shitatanage underarm throw, giving Onosato his third defeat of the tournament. The more that Onosato, as well as my sons Hakuoho and Atami Fuji, face these higher-ranked Rikishi, the less nervous they'll be, and the more they can learn and grow their sumo. These kinds of defeats are to be expected at first, but as long as they serve as learning experiences for the rookies, they aren't all that terrible. So, yeah it kind of sucks that, to watch them get beat, especially whenever they have a lot of momentum, but it's fine. That just means, like, shit, a couple of more years, they're going to be fucking just tearing up the Banzuke. It's going to be badass.
Right? We might be watching them, like, trying to get enough wins to become Ozeki or trying to get the Yusho to become Yokozuna.
I know! And Terano Fuji used Onosho's own brutal Tachiai against him. He didn't hinka or sidestep as much as he just gripped Onosho's belt and just steered him back so his own charge caused him to step out. He was just like, he didn't even slam into him. He goes, oh, here you go, just give you a little help. And then he just ran out.
Yeah.
It's like very little contact.
And you wouldn't normally see Terano Fuji and Onosho going up against each other, but because Onosho did so surprisingly well in the first week of the basho, I think, that one made a little more sense than some of the other ones.
Yeah, I think the reach of the joy had extended with all the people that were absent.
Exactly. So they had to go digging around in Makuuchi.
Dig around in what?
Wow.
Makuuchi. Get real down deep up in Makuuchi.
Yeah, way up in there.
Man, I don't know why we've never thought of that before. All up in Makuuchi. My big brown beaver. Day 12. We had a great example of what is referred to as the dead body rule, or shinitai in Japanese, between Tobizaru and Ichi Yamamoto. The Gyoji gave the win to Tobizaru, but the judges called a mono-e to determine which event happened first. Did Tobizaru's arm land on the ground first, or did both Ichi Yamamoto's feet fly past the Tawara first? The judges determined that the Gyoji's verdict stood because even though Tobizaru touched the ground first, Ichi Yamamoto has both feet outside of the dohyo before Tobizaru landed, meaning he was in an unrecoverable position and therefore the one who lost. I just wanted to mention this because people are always arguing about it, and I thought this was such a textbook example to show like how this rule actually works, since it always causes so much argument between especially the international fans.
Oh yeah, whenever you're on like sumo groups on Facebook, it's like, oh geesh. It's cool because in between basho on those sumo Facebook groups, you get to see who is an actual fanatic and who knows the rules, who knows people that keep up with it. Mm-hmm. And then once you start getting shit in, how come Hakuoho doesn't have a chanmage? You start like, or how come Kirishima's not an Ozeki or a Yokozuna just yet? And it's like,
you know what? It's okay to be new.
Yeah.
It is. It's okay to be new.
Oh yeah, totally.
But when you start saying like, oh, the Shimpans are fucking stupid because they didn't decide, this match this way instead of this other way or whatever, then it becomes like, okay, you're just at that point where you think you know enough about sumo to have an educated opinion about it, but you don't actually, and you don't realize it. And we refer to that as the Dunning-Kruger effect. Look it up. This is an actual thing that's been studied. People who are of low skill in something will be more confident in their ability to do that thing than people who are of high skill. So it's like an actual psychological phenomenon.
I love that. Here we are fucking being sumo fans and like, you know, finding in-depth examples of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, but just as a counterpoint, I will say the judges are stupid because they don't give every win to Ura.
That is correct, and I mean
That is the most correct.
we're just gonna have to blame that on the secret Yakuza
I know
cult,
this. Yeah, that's the thing that we always say.
underground Shinpon Illuminati for
Yeah,
making
all of the
those kinds
officials and all the
decisions.
rikishi have to make their Yakuza payments, and if they don't, that's whenever they start losing a lot more because they don't have their protection
Yes,
paid
yeah,
off,
and Ura spends so much of his money on like
cheeseburgers.
Ice
and
cream
pink
cups.
Mawashis.
Ice
So.
cream a cuppa. I love that video.
I do too.
No, no. I tell you what, though, the people at Sumo Database are gonna have to start putting a lot of asterisks on everything after this episode comes out.
Listen up, Sumo DB.
The video of Uro where they're like, where do you like to go out to eat? It's just ice cream cup.
Ice cream cup.
He's so precious. All right, next we had Terunofuji versus Ono Sato. I'm sure Ono Sato would have loved to get a Kimboshi during his first Makauchi tournament, but we all know that's more rare than Ryuden keeping his little rude boy in his pants. So, despite Ono Sato's good tachiai, Teru simply Watanage's his ass out. I'm sure Ono Sato still felt honored to even get to fight the Yokozuna in his first go at the top division.
Yeah, that was, you could kind of tell he was just kind of like, oh shit. He knew what was going to happen. He's like, well, let's see how fast it takes me to get thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still stuck on, you called it a rude boy.
Little rude boy.
I really hope that y'all have a soundboard that you can put in that from like all the old like dub tracks. Rude boy.
Rude boy. Oh my god, we're going to have to get that. Holy shit.
We should.
All right, so for day 13, we're starting to get to the wire. I know that Endo has been dealing with some rough feelings since his hometown was damaged by the earthquake, but it still felt really good to see him beat Ryuden.
You just love it when Ryuden gets beat.
So do you.
Well, okay, true. Like I said on the last episode, it's always fun to have a heel.
Tsurugisho versus Shodai. All right, Shodai got robbed. Like, seriously, held at gunpoint and fucking robbed. Tsurugisho obviously landed first. We all saw the replay on NHK and everything. They replayed it twice. So Shodai was still in the air when Tsurugisho came crashing down, but those ass clown Shinpon called a Torinaoshi. And of course, Shodai lost. I could tell by the mischievous look on Tsurugisho's face before the second bout started that he had some sort of chicanery up his sleeve, and he did. A Takakomi slapdown victory, which was some bullshit. What do you got to say about that, Nemo? I saw that look.
No, I
Shodai
also
just
think
went
it's
home
bullshit.
and started playing his fucking Linkin Park CDs. It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter. I gotta figure out how to say that phrase in Japanese and sing it, and then
All I have to say about that is that Tsurugisho looks like a lunch lady.
A lunch lady.
Yeah.
with some killer sideburns.
There's a few of them that look like lunch ladies. Him and Nishikigi, I think, they both look like.
Nishikigi is like, but I feel like I'm looking in the mirror when I look at Nishikigi.
Nobody
See, okay,
else
look at
thinks
me
that.
without my glasses, and I make this face. It's like, see, I made my Nishikigi face at Nemo, and he saw it. You can tell he saw it. Hold on,
Please.
hold on.
Please, whatever
You're
you do.
just squinting.
I'm not just squinting. I'm also doing this. See, you can see it too. I do look
You
like
don't
Nishiki.
make that face all the time, though.
Yeah, but I look like Nishiki when
No,
I do make
no,
the
you
face.
don't.
And whenever we do that, when we do
You
the
have different cheekbones.
when we do the title card, we're gonna have to just put my face somewhere on the title card, making my Nishiki
for the
face.
YouTube version.
Yes.
Oh God.
All right, fine. I'll just put it on like
No.
Instagram
No.
somewhere.
Whatever you do, don't wear a hairnet.
Oh my god. You know, thinking about Nishiki with the hairnet. No, I see lunch lady. I can
Give
see
me my
lunch
chocolate
lady.
milk, damn it.
You want some more enchiladas?
It's like, Miss Nishiki, can I just get an extra tamale, please?
We're out of breakfast pizza.
You get one chocolate cake or one vanilla cake, not two. Oh my god, I can't unsee it now. It's stuck in my head.
Chocolate milk or 2%?
All right, now we got Gonoyama versus Osanayama. Who's the best Yama? Actually, Yama's the best Yama.
Oh yeah, Yamamoto Yama.
Yeah, Yamamoto Yama. Okay, but this is Gonoyama versus Asanayama. And guess what? I said Asanayama, which means Big Baby Sweets is back.
Motherfucker.
All right, after being Kyujo for a couple of days, Asanayama is back into the action. Gonoyama comes in hard at the Tachiai, but Asanayama calmly grabs Big G's arm and throws his ass with finesse and gusto. He made that Kotanage look as easy as flipping a grilled cheese.
Man, I tell you what, I'm so glad that he was able to come back and get his Kachikoshi.
I know!
Yeah, maybe, and this is me being, stupid. I was going to say immature, but this is stupid. But whenever I think about potentially ever having a match with any actual, like, pro sumo wrestlers, I think, like, if I were to face off against Terunofuji, I would be, that goes back to the Dunning-Kruger effect, absurdly overconfident about my chances with Terunofuji, but for some reason Asanayama is the one that scares the absolute shit out of me.
Yeah, he is fucking scary.
I feel like Terunofuji would just kind of push me out, like, okay, all right, whatever. But Asanayama would do the Abi thing to me and just pick me up and huck me out of the ring like I was a bar.
You see, I feel like Asanayama would just, like, you know, we see the memes where people have the calculations, you know, those little calculations have, and then he would just proceed to dismantle me at the molecular level.
Yeah.
It's just like, Jesus, he's overkill.
He would spaghettify you.
He would, with just that mean look that he makes.
I want to get that. I want to get that door poster of Asanayama because he just looks like a huge bouncer.
It's like, who's Kachikoshi, Big Baby? My Kachikoshi, motherfucker. All right, now we got Ichiyamamoto versus Abi, and we were watching the NHK, and I think that was that Ross Mihara? Was it Raja Pradhan? I think it was Raja.
The only ones I know are Hiro and Murray, so I don't pay attention.
There's
to the
Hiro,
ones
there's
with
Murray, there's Ross, and then there's Raja.
Yeah.
And so this made me feel like reality was warping because, you know, everyone always likes to call, you know, Ichiyamamoto Abi Light.
Yeah.
I mean, but where's the lie, though? But, you know, only in build, and maybe a little bit in technique. But it really was kind of weird to see both of them facing each other. You know, it was just like,
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know.
Is the universe going to blink out of existence?
Right. All right, so yeah, Raja Pradhan had to call Ichi Abi Light, as does most everyone, but to see the two lanky, long-armed lemurs face off against each other for the first time, I really did feel like it was just Ken and Ryu just rendered into different. Yeah. So it was just the same guy in just two different costume colors. But Abi, the real Abi, has the superior Supari technique and sent Ichiyamamoto flying off the dohyo.
That poor man. Don't make it his sorrow.
Well, apparently you didn't listen to episode 27 or whatever. Fuck, it was one of our earlier episodes when we came up with that.
What I really miss though is the Chiyo Tairu song that we Wii U Chiyo Tairu Wii U Chiyo Tairu.
That's great.
We just have to find some other. I think the only one that we could do that with is Fuji Seiyun now.
Wakamoto hard. No.
See, I worked with Fuji Seiyun, so he just won the Sandanmeiyu show.
Ooh.
So we got Ooh Wii U Fuji Seiyun. See, it
He's
kind
going
of
to
works.
have to climb up a few divisions before we can actually devote
Sing him a
episode
song.
time to him.
Oh, I had a note for this. Here's your epic Nemo insight of the podcast.
Please bestow upon us your wisdom.
Yes, yeah, and I swear I wasn't inebriated when I thought of this, but even though it might sound like it, Abi is to Sanyaku what Goro was to Shang Tsung. He's like the litmus test.
Yeah.
For the lower rank wrestlers, if you want to get to Sanyaku, you're going to have to get through Abi. Abi's
True.
not gonna be up there. I don't see Ozeki in Abi's future, but he's always going to hang around like between M5, M1, Komusubi, Sekiwake. Even he's always going to be just kind of that specter hanging.
Yeah.
that one guy. And Goro, I feel
He
like
is very goblin-like, isn't he?
And with the 4 arms, I feel like Goro is a great metaphor for what Abi is.
Yeah.
With his style.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, he's such a demon.
Oh my god. Movie Mulligan, if you're listening to this episode, you have to draw
Please
Abi as
draw
Goro.
Abi as Goro. We're just going to refer to him as Goro from
I know.
now on.
Yeah.
You started something, Nemo.
Yes.
All right. Oh, and Midori Fuji had a moment where you could tell he was making the calculations I was talking about,
The meme, everybody's seen the meme.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was doing some quick physics before he just throws Miyogiru to the side like a hot piece of fry bread. That was really fucking cool.
Yeah,
All right.
I always love watching Midori Fuji. Even when he's losing, he's fun to watch.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Then we had Ken Bozan versus Atami Fuji. So I don't know if Ken Bozan was trying to hinka, but he wasn't fast enough, whatever the hell he was trying to do. Atami Fuji just plowed right through poor Ken Bozan. He looked like he was hurting as he was limping down the Hanamichi. I'm just glad that Atami Fuji didn't rough him up too bad with his killer kimarite.
Don't hurt him, Atami Fuji.
Wakamoto Haru took Onosho's Tachiai all the way to the bells and then pushed him all the way back down the exact same path and then shoved his ass out with an Oshidashi win. So that was pretty cool.
Wakamoto Haru, another one of those that I always love watching.
He's been doing great. He did great this show, and him along with his brother. I'm calling it officially. This is the hashtag that I'm going with. Spread it to all of your Discord servers and friends and Instagram. It's officially hashtag Waka Watch 2024.
Watch.
The Waka Watch.
All right, we're doing it. Waka Watch.
Waka Watch 2024.
Or would it be Waka Waka Watch? Since
Waka
there's
Waka
two
Watch.
of them.
Waka Waka!
And then whenever all 3 of them finally become Sekitori.
Waka 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 Watch.
Waka 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 Watch. That's so fun to see.
Just sounds like Pac-Man when you do that.
Waka 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 Waka.
Just need a Fozzie Bear emote. That's all.
Oh my god.
People know exactly what we're talking about. Waka Waka! Here they come.
All right, now we have Tobizaru versus Ura. Of course, this one was a wild-ass bout that resulted in a mono-ii. How could it not? So they bonk heads at the Tachiai, slap each other around for a bit, and then Tobizaru goes for an Iwatanage. Ura was in motion, and Tobizaru's throw caused him to go horizontal and spin. Poor Tobizaru stepped out before Ura landed. The mono-ii concluded that Tobi stepped out first, and Ura earned his 4th much-needed win.
That was a cool one to watch too, because the reason why Ura is so fun to watch is because he's always doing weird flips and tricks and stuff to try not to be the first one to touch the ground or to step outside or whatever.
Like in cartoons, like either like Tex Avery or Looney Tunes, whenever they're falling but they don't want to fall, so they keep climbing up the air.
Yeah,
it's like he does that kind of shit.
He does. He's like a cat.
The Dohyo's water.
It really isn't a basho without both Ura and Tobizaru doing a full barrel roll midair.
Exactly.
The Tobizaru's like Flipper. He's just like a dog, like, just like popping up out of the water.
Because I know he shaves all of his body hair off,
Yeah.
right? Does he shave his pubes too?
Fun fact. Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does. He does
didn't
shave
know
all. Look at his legs. I mean, next time you see his legs, he has no armpit hair. He has no leg hair. I'm assuming that means he has no pubes.
Because we all saw that picture of Kirishima.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it looked like...
No, we all did not.
Oh, we
Look.
will have to show you
I
after.
saw some comments about a neck of some sort.
Oh, there was some neck chilling.
Because it looked like maybe he shaves down there.
Maybe he did. I bet maybe they kind of have like a bikini line kind of thing that they do.
There was some shadow on it, but it. Are you okay, Nemo?
Hear no evil. Hear no evil.
Look at Takayasu though. Takayasu's a hairy dude, and then he'd be like, you ever was that Cheech and Chong's? Is it Nice Dreams where like he's fighting the Invisible Man? It's like I think it's Chong. Tommy Chong
I'm just
is
worried
like
that we broke Nemo again.
But he's got like this bush, just like he's wearing like one of those wrestling speedos, and he's got a wig, like a merkin under his, so it just looks like he has some giant bush.
Yeah.
So Takayasu's rocking some sort of fucking giant bush.
Yeah,
he's a grizzly bear, but so he's got to be taking some clippers.
He's got
or
that
something.
Filipino fro.
Yeah, so he's got to be kind of so all of them have like some sort of bikini line.
Philippine fro.
Please make it stop.
Okay, no more rikishi bikini line. Oh my god, that's gonna be a song.
Especially Takayasu.
That's a new Kataban song, Rikishi Bikini Line. Okay,
so
I'll stop talking about Takayasu's bikini.
So you haven't seen the Kirishima picture yet. If you want to see it, I will show you later.
All right. That's on the Patreon. That's yeah. Oh god. And I did see the cheeked up Takayasu, which I was not expecting. I was like, oh my god.
All right, so to conclude day 13, we have Kirishima versus Hoshoryu. All right, Haas looked ready to rock at the beginning of this bout. Kirishima appeared calm and collected. The bout started with Hoshoryu getting the advantage at the tachiai. Haas had an outside right-hand grip. Everything looked like it was going Haas's way until Kirishima kicked Hoshoryu's ankle and twisted his ass down to the clay. Was that Nimaigari? That's what it was. Nimaigari victory. Yeah. That's such a hard, all of those vowels, Nimaigari. Is it Nimaigari?
You can say Nimaigari.
Nimaigari. Whatever. Nimaigari victory for Kirishima. And that's a very rare kimarite, which is why I suck at pronouncing it.
We had a few very rare kimarite in this basho.
Oh, yeah. One of the pinnacles coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
Don't need my Gary. I'll need your Gary.
And I lied. That wasn't to conclude day 13. This is to conclude day 13. Terunofuji made Kotonowaka look like a 5-year-old throwing a tantrum as he effortlessly got his favorite grip and then just Yori carried Kotonowaka out.
But he did throw a tantrum. We heard from one of his attendants that he was like literally screaming around about how poorly he did in that bout with Terunofuji. Wow. And that goes back to something that I was saying previously about how when you look at Kotonowaka, sometimes you catch a little glimpse of something dark in there.
Oh, I was going to say bratty.
Well, bratty, dark, same thing.
How far does that bratty streak go?
Yeah, no, I was saying the other day that he kind of looks like Shizuuchi from Sanctuary. Like when he's trying to put on his battle face, Oh,
whenever he was like whenever he's picking up the salt, making that like mean grouchy face. Yeah. I don't know, Shizuuchi looks scarier whenever he's just either making that just kind of like expressionless kind of. But no, he's even scarier when he smiles.
Yeah, no, they got to make him really terrifying because, it's fiction. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
But, in
real
the
life.
real world, you see that from one of these, stoic-ass rikishi, and you're like, oh, fuck, what is going on with this dude?
Or, how Terunofuji just kind of looks like a fucking great white shark. He's just got that predator look in his eyes, and I was like, oh, that's a force of nature.
But, yes, Kotonowaka was kicking and screaming and throwing a tantrum because he did not beat the Yokozuna.
The fucking Yokozuna.
But going into day 14 now, once again we have multiple frontrunners going into Sinshuraku Eve. Joining Kotonowaka is Terunofuji and Kirishima. After his bout with Kirishima the day prior, Hoshoryu ends up dropping out on day 14 due to injury, which I think it was something with his ankle or something like that, wasn't it?
It was the old ankle. Wait, with Hoshoryu? I thought Hoshoryu was knee. I thought was it knee or ankle?
Was it his knee?
Because I know Hoshoryu had his knee all taped up.
It was a joint in the lower body.
Yeah, a lower body joint of some sort.
But he did have double-digit wins by that point, which is good for an ozeki.
Oh, yeah.
So his Oyakata actually advised him not to rejoin the basho on day 15, even though apparently he really wanted to.
Yeah, he had to tell him, he's like, nobody wants to see a powerless ozeki.
Exactly.
And he was like, okay, fine.
Exactly. So one of the first interesting bouts from day 14 that I have is Onosato versus Sadanoumi. We don't talk about Sadanoumi as much as we used to.
I know.
But this one was pretty interesting. We get a fairly rare kimarite on this one as well. Onosato goes up against the veteran Sadanoumi, who immediately gets a belt grip and tries to Watanage the rookie. But Onosato avoids getting tossed out, drives Sadanoumi to the other side of the ring, and dumps him off the dohyo with a kirikaeshi, twisting backwards knee trip.
That actually looked kind of painful.
Yeah, it did look a little bit painful, but it was fun to watch. Next interesting bout I have is Wakamoto Haru versus Abi. They come at each other like rabid dogs fighting over the last cat turd in the litter box. But they both end up exiting the dohyo on their own momentum after Waka tries and fails a push out. And are you okay over there?
No, we're not okay.
Waka tries and fails a push out, and Abi tries and fails a slap down. The Gyoji gives the win to Abi, but a mono-e is called to determine who landed first. The replay showed it pretty clearly, however, and the Gyoji's verdict stood.
By door. God, the last cat turned out of the cat box.
Originally, I was gonna say rabid dogs fighting over a bitch in heat, but I thought that was a little too...
Yeesh. Okay, maybe last turn in the cat box.
What, you don't like my,
I'd say we're gonna have to take some English courses.
Should I go crass or gross?
Next, we have Shodai versus Ura. Neither rikishi has been doing too hot in this tournament, but we're always bound to see wacky shit when Ura is involved. Shodai grabs Ura's arm, attempts to tip him out of the ring, but through an impressive feat of balance, Ura resists, flailing around on only one foot until he's able to gain his bearings again. Shodai then opts for pushing attacks, which only gives Ura the opportunity to grab his arm and pull him down for a Totari victory.
Man, I gotta figure out how to keep busting out some Totaris. I see opportunities too, but my brain just doesn't think like that. That's a mean, tricky way to win.
We then had Kirishima versus Kota no Waka. This bout starts with not one, but two matas by Kota no Waka. They finally blast off the tachiai with many flailing limbs until Kirishima notawas Kota no Waka and just kind of holds him there for a moment, maybe trying to figure out what to do next. Kota no Waka ain't playing those kind of games, though, and bats Kirishima's arm away, then tries for a pull down, which fails, but allows him to grab the back of Kirishima's mawashi and shove him out sideways.
That's a nice turnaround.
This means that in order for him to get promoted to Yokozuna, Kirishima has to beat Terunofuji, Kota no Waka has to lose to Tobizaru, and then Kirishima has to win a 3-way playoff against both Terunofuji and Kota no Waka.
That is a tall order.
Yeah.
The likeliest of scenarios.
Well, let's go ahead and see what happens by moving on into our last day, day 15.
Drop that.
Do we
curtain.
have to? Can I just live in my fantasy for a moment?
Yeah, we're all eternally living in day 14. Just kidding.
Well, did you have anything else you wanted to say about day 14 before we get to the last day?
Just that I just didn't want this tournament to end. And,
Yeah.
I just gotten used to 2 weeks of just exciting ass sumo. We wake up every day and something fucking wild's happening. I guess only 42 days till the next basho?
Yeah.
Oh, where's sumo?
Well, I guess I'm just going to have to get into more Amazumo then. All right, so day 15. Oho actually did particularly well in this basho. I'm glad to see he's on the upswing. And, at my guess year 11, he finished 10-5. So, I mean, it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not too
oh.
bad, actually. Oh-ho!
Oh-ho. All right, but for day 15 bouts, we had Tamawashi versus Onosato. Can the Iron Man of sumo take on this powerful youngster in the springtime of his youth? He goes for a Nodowa attack at the Tachiai, but this doesn't faze the young rookie. He pushes the Tetsujin to the bales and couldn't push him over as Tamawashi's resistance was too strong. So what did he do? He changed directions and pulled Tamawashi down as he was pushing with all of his strength forward to resist Onosato's onslaught. Onosato was also awarded the Kanto Show Fighting Spirit Prize after this bout for just slapping Tamawashi down.
Good job, Onosato.
I mean,
Great show.
I mean, good job all around. For his first time in Makuuchi, I was super impressed by that guy.
do you remember whenever I first joined Nemo's Fantasy Sumo League?
No.
Well, it was forever ago.
It was.
That was rhetorical.
But when I first joined the Sumo League, it was always Tamawashi that always fucked my guys up. And then
100%.
anytime I would pick Tamawashi, he would fight like shit.
Yeah.
And it was like, you motherfucker. So this is one of those times
They're
where
only doing that because you are picking them. If it wasn't you in particular picking them, then it wouldn't have. It's kind of like
exactly.
Last night.
That's how sports superstition works. You're
Exactly.
getting the gist.
It's like last night when Sumo Mainichi was going to announce the winner of their contest. For the
internet went out.
Yeah, the Hyoshigi.
Yeah, it was the Chiyoshoma Henka competition.
Yeah.
And you have to guess which day Chiyoshoma's gonna Henka.
And I guess day 5.
With 15 other people, or 14 other people.
Yeah, a lot of people guessed day 5. So they put all the names in a bag, and then, Chiyoshoma had just had his bout, and they were like, all right, we're going to draw the name after Chiyoshoma's bout. And then, right as they were about to draw it, their internet goes out. And if you haven't seen it, go check out their channel on YouTube. Go check out their Instagram. They actually have a video of Amy pulling out the name and being like, oh, awesome, look at this. And then being like, oh, fuck, the internet's out.
She goes, is our internet down? At the very end of the video.
So right when I'm about to find out who the winner is, I'm sitting in my living room like, all right, it's probably not going to be me, but we'll see what happens. And then stream just dies. And then, we're sitting there waiting for the stream to come back up.
Sometimes it'll come right back up, but no, the video just ended. It was like,
Really?
what?
Yeah.
Call our lawyers.
And then we get a message on our Instagram from...
Oh, no, I messaged them. I was like, oh my God, what happened? Are you guys coming back?
You messaged him first? Okay. And they're like, well, you're not going to believe it. And, long story short, I got the clackers!
Yeah! Nice.
They're from Kodiak Woodworks. Is it Woodworks or Woodworking? Let me make sure. I want to know.
I think it's
want to get it
Kodiak
right.
Woodworking. Yes,
But-
they're very beautiful.
They are Kodiak Woodworking on Instagram, and Kodiak is spelled C as in Charlie, O, D as in David, I-A-K. So Kodiak Woodworking, lots of beautiful pieces on the Instagram profile, and he has a Etsy. So if you see something you like, you can get it from him directly on his Etsy. And he is a sumo fan, and he's homies with the Mainichi, he's homies with us. Just check him out.
I didn't mean to digress so far from the
No,
topic.
that's fine. This was how
But
our
I'm
day
still
15 unfolded.
So excited about winning this thing. I'm always winning the sumo stuff because I won one of the first Sumo Kaboom bingo
Nice.
prizes as well. Yeah, it was a jar of peach jam.
Oh my
It
God, that
really
jam was
good.
fantabulous.
Yeah.
I wonder if those clackers were made the traditional way, where they keep them in the dark for 3 weeks and they're only in the light of the moon for a certain amount of time and kissed by a butterfly or whatever.
No, they do look like they were. I think is it camellia oil? Whatever the finish
Something.
is, it looks like that's what the finish
Oh,
is.
nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to know for sure, like, the method used to make them. I just want to imagine that they were, like, carved by 8 virgins in a...
Actually, you can watch. They have a little thing on the NHK
Yes.
that has how they're made, and it's pretty cool.
I mean, the specific ones that I'm going to be getting.
Oh, okay.
But yes, now, because I promised I would, I'm going to have to write a song using the clackers.
That was the
in
whole
the
idea.
song.
That's why you put so much intent into the universe to
Yes.
win, is because you wanted to use those for a Katamon song.
I'm
do
going
that
to use
so
them as one
bad
of my instruments for writing a song for the band that we're trying to get
She's
together.
gonna be like announcing herself like everywhere she goes, like Sabrina, clack, New York, Sasheen, Ramarancha Bea, clack, and then just walks in. I could so see you doing that.
I literally am going to do that this year. I promise you. Going back to the basho, though.
Okay, day 15, we have Ruden versus Uda.
Oh my god, I love this bout.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
So the villainous sumo Snape stands a few inches taller than the Shin Komusubi Uda. Ruden comes off the tachiai with a series of supari thrusts. Uda took these on the chin like a champ. The two rikishi grab belts and jockey for position. And at this point, time slows down to a crawl. Uda has put on his maximum effort struggle face and sinks his hips. He slips his right hand around Ruden's left arm and uses his own left arm to push Ruden back and off of his balance. Uda pushes up and back with his mighty sumo-honed legs and pulls off a massive Staizori victory. Sumo Snape has been banished back to the sewer from whence he came. There was a monoi, but it was confirmed that Udazeki is the victor.
Yay!
Oh, yes. It was such a sweet mono it was. I loved that slow-mo. That now all of the people on YouTube that have compilations of Ura's best techniques,
Yes.
they're going to have to re-upload with this one.
Oh,
I know,
fuck
right?
yes.
Oh, it was so fucking beautiful. Like, he's always trying crazy moves like that, and it doesn't usually work out, but when it does, it's so fun to fucking watch.
It is.
Especially when it's to Ryuden.
I know, right? Like, sometimes I think, damn it, Ura, if you just do more straightforward sumo, you get more wins, you'd climb up in the ranks more. And then sometimes I think, do the thing, Ura, do
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, don't listen, Ura. Just keep being you.
And then he just, knocks fucking Ruden's dick in the dirt, and it's like, ha! Cheat on your wife with your dick in the dirt, motherfucker.
Food eater.
All right. I love that movie. That just reminded me about that. I need to watch that again. Have you seen River's Edge with Keanu Reeves and Crispin Glover?
No, that
It's
sounds
like
crazy. If
it's a
Christian
metal
Glover's in it.
murder mystery movie from like the fucking 80s.
Oh, hell yes.
It's
I'll have to watch that.
very dark and disturbing. It's great. Okay, anyway, back to the sumo. We have Kotonowaka versus Tobizaru. Losing this bout would mean Terunofuji automatically gets the Yusho win. But winning this bout means that Kotonowaka would at least have to fight Terunofuji in a playoff, and possibly Kirishima if he wins against Terunofuji in this bout. Tobizaru threw himself at the wall that is Kotonowaka at the tachiai. He goes for a couple of attacks, tries some supari, but Kotonowaka absorbs it all. Locks up Tobizaru's arms while gripping his belt for an Watanabe, but Tobizaru drops his hips and resists with all his might. This visibly annoys Kotonowaka, who then slams Tobizaru down by the back of his head, sending the irritating little monkey spinning to the clay. That was...
He looked like he was just so done with Tobizaru's shit.
It was a decisive victory, but
Oh, yeah.
I wish it wasn't to my poor Tobizaru.
I know, I like Tobizaru, but sometimes I can tell some of the Rikishi, like, just his antics and, like, his style, I can tell you, they're just like, fucking quit!
Quit it! Stop!
I don't stop! It's like trying to kick fucking Terunofuji's do his regular kakaeshi, but, Terunofuji's knees are all banged up. And I can tell, I know some people are like, what the? But that's just, he just fights like that,
You annoying little goblin.
And then Terunofuji was just so pissed that his finger flew in his eye, he just was like, God damn it! Like, a lot of rikishi will have that reaction to him. Once they finally beat him, they're like, Jesus. It's like something gross on your hands that you can't wash off.
Get this Tobizaru off of me.
I know. It's got, I stepped in Tobizaru. God damn it. You know, but seriously, I like his style. I like just kind of who he is as a person. He's just kind of entertaining. But
Ura and Tobizaru are like two sides of the same coin. You know, I feel like Tobizaru annoys the fuck out of everybody, but Ura, everybody loves Ura. When I imagine how these two rikishi interact with the other rikishi, even though they have like similar styles of fighting, it's just like night and day, you know? Like,
They're two different kinds of ADHD.
Yeah, that might be a good way to put it.
well, we've all been watching Kirishima's ascension to the top of the Banzake. We've had our hopes, dreams, and hype all built to enormous heights. I should have expected Kirishima to launch himself at Big T-Bird, only to be duly lifted up and shoved out like last week's recycling.
Yeah.
Bye-bye Yokozuna. At least for now, you know.
You know what? I think this was, as much as I hated to see this happen to Kirishima, I think this was Terunofuji's way of saying, I'm not fucking going anywhere.
At least for now.
I'm still the boss.
Yeah, he is the Yokozuna for right now. And then watching, Kotonowaka, Hoshoryu, fucking Asanayama, and their styles just don't quite hold up. And I feel like some of the, couple of the Kinboshi wins were just kind of like more on Terunofuji's side of just kind of getting his groove back.
Maybe, yeah. We know he's got a lot of injuries that he's been dealing with for quite some time, but he's still so fucking powerful. And not just that, but also skilled. He knows what he's doing.
Fuck yeah, he does.
I mean, hell, he yeeted an entire almost Yokozuna.
Yeah! And I know we've been talking about, Terunofuji might be retiring soon because he's got all these injuries and stuff, and we need a new Yokozuna candidate as soon as we can get one, but this kind of made me feel like maybe we were wrong.
I think that maybe we're, trying to rush things a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and talk about the next bout.
The playoff bout.
The playoff bout, yes.
All right, so the playoff bout between Terunofuji and Kotonowaka.
The one-seed tournament.
Kotonowaka was putting on some mean faces while getting himself pumped up. His brow furrowed hard. His nostrils flared, and a controlled snarl curled at his lips as he stood back up after bending down to grab a handful of salt. Terunofuji, on the other hand, was calm and in control, with the look in his eyes that was that of a highly evolved predator. The two titans took their place at the Shikirisan. Kotonowaka goes for underhooks at the Tachiai, but he can't do anything with them. Terunofuji shakes out of the hold and gets an inside right hand and goes for an outside left hand grip. The two kaiju circle back in, and Teru goes Makikai, getting an inside left. This is the final nail in Kotonowaka's Yusho coffin. Teru gets him at the bales and starts to pump away at Kotonowaka, chipping away at his defense. He looked like a grizzly bear shaking a salmon in his teeth. The Tawara seemed 10 feet tall until Terunofuji finally hoisted Kotonowaka over and earned his 9th Emperor's Cup.
Woo!
Incredible. Honestly, what a monster.
I know, right?
Fucking Fuji.
Seriously, every time he enters the hallway on his way to the dojo, they ought to play the opening guitar riff from Bad to the Bone.
Seriously, no, I mean, that's his theme song, or whatever, or fucking March of the Empire,
Yeah.
Terunofuji is Yokozuna. But that was pretty fucking amazing. This was a really exciting ass Yusho fucking win for Teruno Fuji. The whole fucking tournament was just fucking cool. But this was Koto no Waka's second Jun Yusho, was it?
Yeah, his second ever and his second in a row.
Jeez, man. And see, these guys that are in the Sanyaku division, you know, the ones that have been kind of stuck up in that little constipated area for like the last year or so, they really are kind of honing each other's skills, and they are getting better. And sooner or later, someone will be able to defeat Teruno Fuji, but that time is not now.
Yeah, the more they fight each other, especially, I think, the more we'll see one emerge at the top finally, because everybody keeps like cycling between the Ozeki, particularly saying, okay, well, this person's going to be the next Yokozuna. Oh no, he's just a squishy little meatball. This one's going to be the next Yokozuna. Oh no, he's a
remember when
himbo.
Mitaka Yumi was supposed to be the next big hope?
Oh,
Oh, those days seem so far
do
away now.
I?
Poor Mitaka Yumi.
And, you know, I'm sure soon it's going to be, Hoshoryu. Maybe he's going to be the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
gold
Yokozuna
guy.
Hoshoryu.
Yeah, but... And, of course, Koto no Waka, too, because I'm
once he
fairly
become-
certain he's going to become Ozeki.
And now he's Kotozakura.
Yeah, he did say that he would change his name if he became Ozeki to Kotozakura.
Kotozakura. You know, I feel like he really, you know, missed an opportunity. He could have been Ozeki stuck upon Kaku.
You think so?
Man, but he's Koto no Waka's like grandpa was the Kotozakura. Koto no Waka's dad was Koto no Waka. And then Koto no Waka actually had a different Shikona when he first started. I like totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like, what was his?
It doesn't matter anymore.
You were thinking about pancakes like I was.
Pancakes. All right, so Teruno Fuji is the Makuuchi Division champion. The Juryo Division champion is Takeru Fuji, also from Isegahama Beya.
Congratulations. I think he was one of the ones that was standing at the end of the Hanamichi watching Teru's final bout.
Yeah, everybody, like there's that whole Isegahama crew just standing there, just like a fucking low.
That shot of like Teru in the foreground down the Hanamichi, and then you see like that whole Isegahama crew in the background. That was a beautiful shot.
I know. I want to just fucking. I want a painting.
Sometimes the camera people will do like crazy shit, like focus on something when something much cooler is happening, you know,
or a random audience member eating.
Yeah, or just focus on like the back of a woman's neck or something. And then sometimes they get those shots that are almost like artistic, you know.
My favorite is seeing the old dudes in the background of the ring, like recording with their phones. Like, no matter where you go in the world, there's something to say about everybody.
Yep.
I did see somebody that had like a pack of hot dogs on the back of their neck. You know, and it kind of sit like that, and it just looks like fucking like hot dogs.
It's a beef frank.
All right. Waka Taka Kage got a Zensho Yusho and is the Makushita Division champion.
Which means...
Hashtag Waka Watch 2024.
Which means he'll be bumped up to Juryo. Mm-hmm. He'll be back in the Sekitori ranks and hopefully back up to Makuuchi soon.
All right. Then we have the Sandanme Division champion, Fuji Seiyun of Fujishima Beya. I just love saying that name.
I know, me too. It's just, there's a ring to it. Fuji Seiyun.
It's like, get better, Fuji Seiyun, so I can make up songs about you.
Yeah.
Jonidan Division champion was Aonishiki, the new fucking Ukrainian hype hope, whoever he is.
Yeah.
He's got like that, I couldn't tell if that was a giant bruise on his back or a birthmark. I think it's a birthmark.
Somebody said he's like Shishi's little brother or something. I don't
know
if that's true,
not
though.
a literal little brother, but you know.
Okay, yeah. I didn't think that was true. I heard it somewhere.
But yeah, they're, you know, and he's a, displaced, you know, refugee from the war, you know, living in Japan. So
Yeah, there were quite a few in Japan when the war started, so I always wondered what happened to those guys.
They're still there. Okay, then we have the Jonokuchi Division champion is the stablemate of Aonishiki. This kid is named Anhibiki. All right, so the Sancho list. I kept my brain wanted to call it the Shukan Shansho, and I was like, that's not right. I'm tired. Okay, the 2024 January Grand Sumo Tournament Sancho list. The special prizes. The Shukun Show. The Outstanding Performance Award was given to Wakamoto Haru.
He did have a very outstanding
Well
performance,
deserved, yeah.
especially with that Kimboshi.
The Kanto Show Fighting Spirit Prize was given to Onosato. See, the nephew, he definitely earned that one.
Absolutely.
Shimazumi almost got a Fighting Spirit prize as well. If he had won his last bout,
Yeah,
he would have gotten it, but
That was kind of sad.
Alas.
I wanted Shimazu Umi to fucking, get something, That was his debut, wasn't it? Like his Makuuchi debut. It was just overshadowed by so much else,
Yeah.
There should have been more fanfare and more media attention,
there was a lot going on in this tournament.
There was. And, Shimazu Umi really has earned his way to Makuuchi. He's been in sumo for shit. I don't know how long. I just remember seeing him ever since I first started watching. But I don't know why I like watching his sumo. I think it's because the way his legs move reminds me of my cat. Like whenever Sindel's trying to run up into the couch, the way her legs kind of move, that's the way his legs move whenever he's like launching somebody out of the ring. And it's just like, fuck yeah, dude.
And then, of course, we had the Gino Show Technique Prize, which went to Koto no Waka. This being his second Junyu show, as we had mentioned earlier. He was also eligible for an Outstanding Performance Prize if he had gotten the Yusho win.
But, tough titty.
Should have been Ura for that.
4 tough titties, in fact.
They should have given it to Ura just for having his titty grabbed like he did from Ryu.
God,
I know, right?
Rudin was clawing his titties. Just,
Yeah, like an old bra needing to be thrown away.
Yeah.
he was just fucking Freddy Kruegering those poor little side boobs.
I wonder if he
was.
does that to his wife and or mistresses.
They're like, quit it! They probably smack him around like, quit it!
Well, do we have any last words for the January 2024 Hatsu basho?
It was fucking exciting. That's all it was, and I'm just glad sumo's back. But now it's
great.
over again.
Yeah, I was glad it was back, and now I want it back again. If only I could hibernate like a bear, I would until March.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I think that's our show. You know where to find us. Actually, Nemo, where can we find you if we want to look you up on them internets?
You can find me at the Murder Kroger. You can also find
Trying to
me
cash a
on,
check.
You can find me on my Discord server, Nemo's Fantasy Sumo League, which I'm sure I will have an invite link on y'all's Discord server, or if y'all be willing to put one in your deets for your podcast, I would greatly appreciate it. But
Hell yeah.
that's mainly where I'll be, yeah.
Yeah, Nemo's Discord server is fucking fun, and if you really want to like nerd out about sumo with other people who love to nerd out about sumo, that's the spot.
You can also find us on Discord. Just look for Sumo Punx. It's literally the name of the podcast. You can also find us on all of the social media, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitters. We have 2 shops online, one on Redbubble and one on TeePublic. So if you want a t-shirt, a sticker, a mouse pad, whatever the fuck you're looking for, I make all the designs for our shops. They're really cool. At least I think so.
I think they're
Yeah, get you a 3 Wolf Moon mouse pad, y'all.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm actually wearing the 3
You're
Wolf
wearing,
Moon shirt
yeah,
right
you're
there.
wearing the 3 Wolf Moon t-shirt right now. Besides that, you can also find us on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel where we post video of various amateur sumo events and just all kinds of...
Just wackiness.
Yeah.
It's fun.
If you like this podcast episode, give it a 5-star rating. It helps other people find it and enjoy it as well. And I think I've said all the outro things. Was that all the outro things?
I think that's all the outro things.
All right. Well, until next time, bye.
Bye.